Hi, and in this tutorial, we're going to go over the exponents and the order of operations. So today, you'll learn how to evaluate exponential expressions, how to simplify algebraic expressions with exponents, how to use the order of operations agreement, and how to evaluate mathematical models. So first off, let's go over exponential expressions. So here's an example of an exponential expression. We have our base 10 raised to the second power. So if b is a real number and n is a natural number, then that means that the 10th power of b is the product of n factors of b. And I'll go over what that means in a minute. So the exponent tells the number of times the base is to be used when multiplying. So for example, we have 10 squared. Well, that means that 10 is to be multiplied 2 times. So we have 10 times 10. So now here we have 10 raised to the third power, or 10 cubed. So this tells us that 10 is to be multiplied 3 times. So here we're going to multiply 10 times 10 times 10. So any number with an exponent of 1 is the same number. So b raised to the first power is just b. So, for example, 10 raised to the first power is just 10. So let's do an example. Let's evaluate 8 squared, or 8 to the second power. So we have 8 squared. So all this says is that 8 is to be multiplied 2 times. So we're going to multiply 8 times 8. So we're just multiplying 8 2 times. So we know 8 times 8 is 64. So 8 squared is 64. Now let's evaluate -5 to the third power, or -5 cubed. So here we have -5. So this tells us that -5 is to be multiplied 3 times. So we're going to take -5 times -5 times -5. So we know that -5 times -5 gives us positive 25. Now we're going to multiply -5. We're going to bring down that -5. So 25 times -5 is -125. So -5 cubed, or -5 to the third power, is -125. So in the order of operations, some problems contain grouping symbols, such as parentheses, brackets, braces, absolute values, or fraction bars. And these grouping symbols tells us what to do first. So here's how to determine the order of operations. So the first thing you're going to do is perform all operations within grouping symbols. So anything with parentheses and brackets. And then you're going to evaluate all exponential expressions. So anything that has an exponent. So the third thing you're going to do is do all multiplications or divisions in the order in which they occur, working from left to right. So when you work through a problem, you're going to work from left to right. And the last thing you're going to do is do all additions or subtractions in the order in which they occur, working from left to right. So how can I remember the order of operations? Well, use the acronym PEMDAS, which stands for Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. And the way you can think of this is that P in please stands for parentheses, and the E in excuse stands for exponents. My stands for multiplication. D in dear stands for division, and aunt stands for addition, and Sally stands for subtraction. So when you're going through this, think of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally to know the order of parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So let's work an example. Let's simplify 5 times 4 minus 6 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3 cubed. So the first thing we're going to do is to work anything that inside a parentheses. So here we have 4 minus 6. Well, we know 4 minus 6 is negative 2. And then here we have 1 minus 3. So we know 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So now we can rewrite our expression. So now we're going to work with anything that has an exponent. So here we have negative 2 squared. So we know that's negative 2 times negative 2, which gives us positive 4. Now here we have negative 2 cubed, which means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, times negative 2 is negative 8. So now we can rewrite our algebraic expression. We can rewrite 5 times 4 minus 2 times negative 8. So now the next thing we're going to do is multiplication or division, working from left to right. So now we have 5 times 4, we know is 20, minus, and then here we have 2 times negative 8. So 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. So now we're going to do addition or subtraction. So now we can rewrite this as 20 minus negative 16 as 20 plus 16. And we know that 20 plus 16 is 36. So that's our answer. So some algebraic expressions contain 2 sets of grouping symbols, a parentheses, which are the inner grouping symbol, and then brackets, which are outer grouping symbols. So here's how to simplify expressions with 2 or more grouping symbols. So the first thing we're going to do is use the order of operations. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, addition or subtraction. And then we're going to remove the innermost. We're going to remove the innermost grouping symbol. And then the last thing we're going to do is remove the outermost grouping symbol. So let's do an example. Let's simplify 5 minus 3 times 2 times x plus 1 minus 7. So here we have these parentheses. So that's the first thing we're going to do. But x plus 1 is simplified. So now the next thing we're going to do is work on the outer brackets. So here we have 2x plus 1 minus 7. So using the distributive property, we can distribute the 2 to the x and the 2 to the 1, which gives us 2x plus 2. And then we have our minus 7. So now we can simplify this as 2x minus 5, because 2 minus 7 is minus 5. So now we can rewrite our algebraic expression as 5 minus 3 times 2x minus 5. So now we can use the distributive property to distribute 3. So we have negative 3 times 2x plus negative 3 times negative 5. So that gives us negative 3 times 2x is 6x, negative 6x, plus negative 3 times negative 5 is 15. So now here we have 5. We can add our algebraic expression 5. So now 5 plus 15 gives us 20. So we have 20. And then we have our negative 6x plus 20. So that's our answer. So in this tutorial, you learned how to evaluate exponential expressions, how to simplify algebraic expressions with exponents, how to use the order of operations agreement, and how to evaluate mathematical models. So now try and solve the workbook that contains problems using the order of operations. And for more help, sign up for online tutoring, and in the next video, we're going to go over the addition property of equality. Thank you.